Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Surrounders Podcast with your host, the JKD, and my co-host.
Hey, the DOC, the LOVE, the Doctor of Love. Hey, giving you the news reviews on this week in wrestling.
Now, usually we'll do AEW and NXT, but before we do that, we didn't get to talk about Raw, which we're not going to go over the show. We're mainly going to go over the draft. Raw was great and all, had their little things going on, but before we start AEW and NXT, we're going to go over the full list of rosters Raw SmackDown has. Talk about their picks. We'll talk about the um list of free agents, and we'll see out of each division who had the better pick, and overall who had the best, who won the draft, pretty much. So let's go ahead and go over the list of roster moves they had put off. Let's go ahead and get started off with Monday Night Raw. Monday Night Raw, coming off with the overall pick of being the WWE Champion, Drew McIntyre, Raw Women's Champion, Asuka, The Hurt Business, AJ Styles, Naomi, Nia Jackson, Shayna Baszler, Ricochet, Mandy Rose, Miz, and John Morrison. The SmackDown Tag Team Champion, the new Raw Tag Team Champions, Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods, Dana Brooke, Angel Garza, Humberto Carrillo, Tucker, Drew Gulak, Grand Metalik and Lindsay Dorado, The Fiend Bray Wyatt, Randy Orton, Charlotte Flair, Braun Strowman, Matt Riddle, Jeff Hardy, Retribution, Keith Lee, Alexa Bliss, Elias, Lacey Evans, Sheamus, Nikki Cross, R-Truth, Dabba-Kato, Titus O'Neil, Peyton Royce, Akira Tozawa, Lana, Riddick Moss, Arturo Rojas, and Eric of the Viking Raiders. Now, well, let's just go ahead and go over SmackDown. We're not even going to talk about it.
It seemed like a pretty strong draft for Raw. Like you said, let's head on to SmackDown, see what happens.
SmackDown. Friday night SmackDown on Fox, man. You got their overall number one pick, the WWE Universal Champion, Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, Sasha Banks, Bianca Belair, Jey Uso, Dominic and Rey Mysterio, Big E, Otis, Murphy, Kalisto, Shorty G, Bayley, Street Profits as the new SmackDown Tag Team Champions, Daniel Bryan, Kevin Owens, Lars Sullivan, King Corbin, Sami Zayn, Cesaro and Shinsuke Nakamura, Dolph Ziggler and Robert Roode, Apollo Crews, Carmella, Aleister Black, Natalya, Riot Squad, Billie Kay, Tamina, and Zelina Vega. Oh man, it's a good list of people who made the movements like that. But along with the people who got moved, there are some people who still remain as free agents. With the likes of Andrade, Becky Lynch, Big Show, Bo Dallas, Edge, Forgotten Sons, Ivar of the Viking Raiders, Jimmy Uso, Jinder Mahal, Mercedes Martinez, aka Retaliation of Retribution, Mickie James, Mojo Rawley, Ronda Rousey, which I don't know how they count, Samoa Joe, and Sonya Deville, which I don't know, which obviously she's gonna come back some type of way. So the picks for me, I think as far as the picks, I think there are plenty of people who's on this free agent list. I think they should have got like drafted instead of the people who've been drafted. For example, like I said last episode, I think people like Mandy Rose, Dana Brooke, all that they should never been drafted because that was a pointless pick. Honestly, my honest opinion, someone like Daniel Bryan really should never got picked either because
right, they grandfathered in anyway.
So like someone like Andrade or like Bo or Jinder Mahal probably should have got like drafted. So
I can understand Jinder not getting drafted because he's out with an injury again.
I mean, Charlotte Flair injury, yeah, she got drafted.
Yeah, but
still don't mean no. No, don't.
But she is more of a commodity for WWE than Jinder Mahal.
Didn't I just say I don't care? You injured, yet you still got drafted. So
yeah, but she more of a commodity. Okay. Who cares about Jinder Mahal?
Sure, I do. Modern day Raj, you put the respect on the 50th WWE champion of all time. Anyway, let's go and talk about the women's division. Who had the better women's division picks between Raw and SmackDown? Now, obviously, people the likes of Asuka, Charlotte, Mandrose, Alexa are pretty much on the Monday nights, while people like Bayley, Sasha, Bianca Belair, and some others are part of SmackDown. So, let's talk about Shut up. Who's the winner of Raw and SmackDown? Who got a winner of the women's division?
Oh man, the best.
I also believe SmackDown had a better pick. I mean, people like Sasha Banks, people like Bianca Belair part of it now. Then now they got Zelina Vega part of it a little bit, man. I like that.
Natalia,
Yeah,
she
that's how.
always reliable in the ring.
Then just let's not forget the SmackDown Women's Champion Bayley, and also congratulations to Bayley, who's the PWI's top female out of 100. Congratulations to her, man. 1 year plus as SmackDown Women's Champion, the longest reigning SmackDown Women's Champion of all time. I mean, SmackDown got it. I don't see what Raw has to offer except the fact they got Charlotte and Oscar, and the tag team champions also.
And they did right to put her at the top of the PWI for women. Uh, I can't think of another woman who had a run like her this year.
All right, tag team division. Now, obviously, people like on Raw, you have then pretty much the New Day. You kind of like to have the Viking Raiders. You kind of have like Hurt Business. Maybe Retribution might be joined in. Maybe SmackDown got people like Ray and Dominic. You got Street Profits, Cesaro and Shinsuke, Dolph Ziggler and Robert Roode. Probably have the Usos again.
They will.
So I mean, what's gonna be next? But then again, Raw also has Lucha House Party. At least two members of the Lucha House Party, along with John and Miz and Morrison. So as far as I'm concerned, tag team division wise, I gotta say, Raw actually got the better Raw tag team division. I'll admit that.
I don't
Raw.
know. I'm still looking at SmackDown having the better one.
I mean, but then again, I've also had a lot of dream tag teams also. Before when they had the draft, I said Matt Riddle should go to Raw because I like to see Matt Riddle and Keith Lee as a tag team.
Right.
So I mean, it'll truly be limitless to have that tag team together.
The only reason why I just don't say anything about Raw's division is because there may be a split between Miz and John Morgan. You know how they like to split people. Then it's already rumored that they might split Retribution later on. Then the Hurt Business, they could put them up for the tag titles, but they never use them in that capacity. It's the same old feud between themselves and Ricochet or Apollo
Okay, but
Crews.
guess what? They got to leave Ricochet alone now. So,
Yeah,
but
but you know how WWE storylines do. How long would that last, really?
okay. So let's go. So you're going for SmackDown on this one?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going for Raw. Now let's talk about the men's division. Now, obviously, the men's division has been quite something. With Raw having now, they got Drew McIntyre, Randy Orton, The Fiend Bray Wyatt, Braun Strowman, AJ Styles, while SmackDown has the members of like Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins. I mean, they still got Jey Uso, still got King Corbin. Now they got Kevin Owens and Aleister Black back on the brand. So, and then they also got Big E too. But honestly, my honest opinion, I think Raw has a better men's division actually. I know I said SmackDown had bigger faces, but I think it's because like the more popular faces are gonna be now like Rollins and Reigns together instead of like all the other ones. But like I still believe Raw has the better men's division actually.
I think SmackDown has, as far as a good wrestling division, nice clean wrestling. And those of you who love things like that, that'll be SmackDown.
Mm. So you're going for SmackDown?
Right.
Okay. Well, obviously,
Not saying there's no good wrestling on Raw, but I know Raw gonna ruin them with storylines and stuff.
And obviously, based on my pick, I believe Raw has won the draft actually. I know I think I said during the weekend I think SmackDown won it, but I think SmackDown won the night one, but Raw definitely won after night two overall. So congratulations to Raw from me, actually.
Yeah, I'm going with SmackDown winning. I think they use a couple big names, but they put some great workers on their program.
Hmm. Well, that is the end of the draft and our words for the draft. Well, let's go ahead and move on to a little bit of Wednesday night wars as we got AEW Dynamite celebrating their 1 year anniversary with four championships on the line pretty much. We got the tag team titles. We got Cash Wheeler, Dax Harwood, FTR taking on Trent and Chuck Taylor of Best Friends. As you also had Hikaru Shida putting her women's championship against Big Swole, your girl, pretty much. Then you got Cody defending the TNT championship against Orange Cassidy. As Lance Archer finally got his chance to go for the AEW World Champion, taking on good old John Moxley. So now let's go ahead and start off with the AEW Tag Team Champions, FTR, Best Friends. Match was very solid, pretty good matchup.
It was okay, man. Yeah,
However, when
solid.
at the end it came to enter where Rick Knox was about to get hit, until oh my god, was it Chuck Taylor, right? Got hit
Right.
with the belt, or was it Trent got hit with the belt? Either way, they got hit with the belt. But either way, for the AEW Tag Team title, it'll lead up to a Fatal 4-Way No More Contenders match, which apparently they pulled names apparently. Got Butcher and Blade, Private Party. Well, who else they got? Two jabronis from Dark Order.
Silver, yeah,
No,
Silver from Dark Order.
I feel bad for John Silver. And then they got nothing but the Young Bucks. Fatal 4-Way matchup. Winner be no more contender for the AEW World Tag Team Champions. So I'm looking forward to that one. Overall, I give the match a B plus because Best Friends pulled a good one. FTR showing how great they are and why they are still number one in AEW.
I give it a C plus because I didn't like the ending. You shouldn't have to cheat to beat a team like you shouldn't have to cheat to beat a team such as Best Friends. Um, they cheat every week, which is a bad guy staple. But against teams like that, even Oli, even Arn and Tully Blanchard, certain teams like that, they wouldn't have to cheat to beat them. And I think they're making FTR look a little weak by having them have to cheat to beat everybody they face.
Suck it up, man. Either way, the story led to a Miro came out, beat down Best Friends after the fact that during the tag team title match, they ruined Kip Sabian's video game, which led to Kip Sabian and Miro having a match. Well, beating down Best Friends and have their match afterwards against Sean Maluda and Lee Johnson, which they completely destroyed those two jabronis, which just nothing left to say.
Yeah, nothing left to say. Good way to establish Miro as a threat, which they should have done on the first night he got there. You know, um, you only got once to make a good first impression, and he did not. And they got to get away from this video game thing with Miro. Um, Makes him look a little too corny.
It's on Twitch, man.
So, C negative.
He's on Twitch, man. Either way, MJF's big announcement. I'm not even gonna talk about it because all it was kind of a dumb segment to me. It was a real dumb segment to where I'm just gonna say that pretty much it ends with it's a one-on-one dinner with each other, pretty much. As MJF is thinking about joining the inner circle, pretty much. That's all I
Yeah,
had to let's left. I mean, it was a stupid segment to be honest.
it was. It was. Seemed like Jericho gets goofier and goofier as the months go by, and AEW. So
Yeah.
it is what it is.
But let's go ahead and talk about the TNT Championship, which is actually the one match I was really interested in. Cody taking on freshly squeezed Orange Cassidy. Now let me just say, this was a really good match actually. I don't care what you say because you shaking your head and stuff like that. I don't care what you say. That was a good match. And the match ended with I knew the match was gonna end the way I thought it was gonna be. I was like, what's gonna happen? Orange Cassidy's gonna try to get the pinfall. Then by the time he gets like almost a three, time's gonna run out. And guess what? Orange Cassidy did exactly what I thought.
I mean, there's no way somebody in caliber of Cody should go time limit draw with Orange Cassidy. It was a good match, but
It was a really good match. I mean, I like the fact that he put the man what he called the beach breaker. Oh my god. Man, the bump Cody had to take on that. Oh, and obviously the match led to a no contest, which means Cody still retained the title, which Orange Cassidy was not the TNT Championship. However, 2 weeks from now, he will get a second opportunity for that chance. Well, actually, third opportunity for the title, but his second chance on this match, which I give this match an A. Actually, such a good match.
B. It gets a B for me.
Whatever. Your girl Hikaru Shida defended her AEW Women's Champion against your girl Big Swole. Now this match little sloppy in his own way. But
I told you,
however,
cause Big Sloppy. Big Swole is not really all that great in the ring.
notice what I just said. I said a little sloppy. I didn't say it was a whole
No,
lot sloppy. I said it was a
it
little
was
sloppy.
sloppy.
It was a pretty okay. It was an okay match. I will admit it. It wasn't at their best, but I know if it was a pay per view, it was gonna be 100% at their best. But yeah,
Hikaru Shida ain't nothing but an Io Shirai wannabe.
there's nothing said. It's nothing to say except for the fact obviously they went back and forth. Sheeta and hit the finisher, swole with the running knee for the win. I give it a B minus actually.
I give it a D.
You just have no faith in people at all. Two men were beating the crap out of each other before this match even happened. Starting with Lance Archer beating down AEW World Champion Jon Moxley, with Jon Moxley doing the same exact thing. And also finally led up to the match, an AEW World Title match, and no disqualification matchup pretty much. This match was back and forth. It was a very wouldn't it be a cliche technically how the match would go? It's pretty much the state of the obvious of what a no disqualification match is gonna be. Going through a table at least, because people gonna be like saying tables, we want tables and all that stuff. So they went through tables, they went back and forth, they put each other's finish on each other. At least, well, I don't think Archer did, but
Yeah, Archer hit him with the
okay, well, they both put each other finishes on them. I know he put the paradigm shift like 4 times on them, 3 or 4 times. But obviously, Moxley got the win.
right when he used his when not Mox, but when the Murder Hawk used his finisher, he kind of did that back lay pin, and Moxley caught him up in the crucifix, which wasn't a bad way to finish a match.
Yep. Only to lead to your guys Eddie Kingston, Pentagon, El Cerro, and your guy Ray Phoenix beating down Jon Moxley, leading to the fact that Eddie Kingston believes he deserves another shot at the AEW World Title, which I will admit he kind of does actually. So I'm looking forward to see how that go down. Overall, I think I give this match a B minus. I mean, it was stay of the obvious type matchup. So
I give it an A minus.
you can give a match that's okay an A, but you won't give a great match for the TNT title an A.
That wasn't a great match.
That was a good match. I'm pretty sure you must rewatch the episode because you probably fell asleep. I don't know.
No, I did.
But either way, AEW overall to me at least had like a B overall.
I say yeah, overall it's a B.
But let's go ahead and move on to NXT. And obviously the Capital Wrestling Civic Center, Capital Wrestling Center. Well, we start the night off having a number one contender tag team match between the Britain Brawlers, Only Lorcan and Danny Burch, against Roddy Strong and Bobby Fish of the UE Undisputed Era. This was a back and forth great match.
Oh man, perfect. Man.
I mean, strikes, grapple, submissions, but it only led up to Roddy and Bobby.
Great sequence where they bumped their heads to each other, and then Fish hit him with the kick. Then Strong came around with that knee. You couldn't help but to fight. And great sell about Only Lorcan, where he crumpled down to the mat.
Okay, yeah, walked in the match with us. Anyway,
that was A.
It led to Roddy and Bobby getting the win, to where they're gonna challenge the NXT Tag Team Champions, Breezango. Which I do give the match. Well, actually, I barely watched, so I'm gonna give it a B. I didn't watch. I didn't catch it up to that match.
I'll give it an A.
It wasn't that great of a match to me, but
yeah, it was.
Ember Moon had a talk. I didn't watch the interview. I didn't see nothing great because really I wasn't interested in Ember Moon when she came back.
She's not a great talker.
I don't care. I wasn't interested. I wasn't interested because I was really looking forward to her to be a heel. I wasn't. I was not interested in that at all. But I will admit that I didn't even watch Jake Atlas versus Ashante D. Adonis. I don't even like neither of them. Actually, I believe in Ashante D. Adonis. Not a fan of Jake Atlas. Not trying to ruin his moment and all that, but not a fan of him. I just can't get behind him.
I can't get into Jake Atlas. I hear he was better on the indie circuit, but I can't get into him. I gave the match a C minus. and close to a D. I really want to say D. Um, it was just something further a storyline. That's all it was. It wasn't really a match.
But let's move on to the fact that, oh man, the all heart, no soul Johnny Gargano taking on the man who claims that he is the youngest man to compete at WrestleMania at multiple times.
All day long, ATL best.
I trust him. He ain't the best if he gonna keep on losing.
Austin Theory.
Austin Theory. There's none left to say that this was a good back and forth combat between the two. They're showing their skills though. I will admit a lot of Austin Theory selling, overselling for one thing.
Yeah.
Gargano showing how great he is, how he's gonna be a great contender for the North American title against Damian Priest, which is coming up at Halloween Havoc.
And I think he will win it this time.
A little too late to go for him now, but it was a pretty good matchup between the two actually, which I would give it an A.
I'll give it an A also.
Let's talk about the number one contender match between Candice LeRae and Shotzi Blackheart. Now, most people think Shotzi Blackheart probably gonna win because, like, oh, it's Halloween Havoc,
exactly,
and that Shotzi Blackheart is gonna be host, but no, it's Candice LeRae. Candice LeRae. There's nothing to say. There's nothing to say except the fact Candice LeRae won because of the fact that Indy Hartwell helped the woman out, which means now Shotzi Blackheart probably gonna have a rivalry with Indy Hartwell, who I still think needs a little bit of work. We haven't seen her in a while since the Battle Royal, at least. So I'm looking forward to see what they're gonna do with this Indy Hartwell Candice LeRae partnership, maybe Gargano's partnership, maybe. But congratulations to Candice LeRae.
Yeah. And I also got her penciled in to win the title.
Well, it's too late to go for her too, but I mean, hey. I mean, I've always been behind the Garganos.
No, I give that match a C.
I give it an A. It was a pretty good matchup. Until it was the end.
Didn't get into it. It's just some reason I just probably because it probably was a B to me, but it's just I can't get into Candice LeRae or Shotzi Blackheart.
I can get into both of them. It was a really good matchup. Now speaking of, let's continue with more women's action. As before we get to this women's match, let's talk about Halloween Havoc. It will finally these two will meet one-on-one. Rhea Ripley taking on Big Mommy Cool Raquel Gonzalez. Yep. Looking forward. I think the only way this match will be even better if it was an actual stipulation to this matchup. It's the only way to make it better.
Well, I think right now don't do a stipulation because it's their first time meeting.
Don't care.
And then do one later on.
No, this is where they're having a stipulation to the matchup. I mean, they did Mercedes Martinez and Rhea Ripley, and it wasn't even a built-up, pent-up.
Well, they did that because Martinez was going to the main roster, which she may be coming back to NXT now.
No, I can't say that, but let's talk about the next match: Toni Storm versus Aaliyah of the Robert Stone brand. There's nothing else to say except the fact that it was pretty much a
squad.
Don't call it a combat match pretty much. I mean, Toni Storm just won. That's all.
Aaliyah is improving in the ring though, but you just can't take her character seriously because she gets beat so much, and she really has a comedy manager.
Yeah. So before we even get to the next thing, let's talk about Xia Li and Boa begging Regal to give her a match to turn her luck around next week. I'm liking this partnership between these two actually. I'm looking forward to see how far these two gonna go. I wouldn't say they're gonna go too far to where they're gonna win championships and stuff like that, but I will say it might be like years. Like I don't mean like years. I ain't gonna say like a year from now. No, I'm gonna say like years from now. Till they probably like get to a championship opportunity maybe. But I'm looking forward to how this partnership will go down actually.
See, the funny thing about Xia Li, if she was kind of like taller, I think they would push her more or they'll give her more of a chance. But she's so short. But the funny thing about it is she can whoop almost any woman in real life on there, being a wushu master.
All right, cool. Well, I mean, what else? Well, let's go ahead and move on to another.
All right. Drake Maverick with that beautiful, beautiful ring entrance. Beautiful song.
Okay. Drake Maverick, Killian Dane taking on Imperium. There's nothing else to say. I know I've been saying this a lot. There's nothing else to say about this. I mean, all this stuff's been pretty much obvious. It's just that when you just watch it for so long, it's just nothing to say about the fact that like, oh, When you see these two round, like you would think like, all right, they already got like another odd tag team, which is Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax. So with this, with Drake Maverick killing Dane, obviously Imperium was gonna win. You know, Imperium got their sight on the tag team titles still. So I mean, it's not like they like just fully gave up and pack their bags and move back to NXT UK. No, they still have their eyes on the prize, and that's the NXT Tag Team Champions, which are Brazongo.
Right.
However, I mean, then with Everrise coming, I don't know what in the blue heck was that. I mean, Everrise really haven't done nothing to even try to like do something until they just got knocked over.
Yeah, that it was kind of stupid to bring Everrise out there. I gave it a C.
Yeah, that's not. I'm not even gonna give it a grade, but I ain't gonna be. But I'm not gonna say no grade. I'm gonna give it a C though. I'm gonna C plus actually. Only because at least they're going somewhere about this. Only because actually I'll give it a B minus because only because they're going somewhere about this Drake Maverick killing the thing. So
All right, we got the NXT North American Championship. Damian Priest, Dexter Loomis.
I think it was a pretty good match. I mean, there were some points where it seemed like Dexter Loomis was gonna win it. You know, especially the fact he put a triangle chokehold on him. Especially being laid out. I thought it didn't make sense the fact that when Damian Priest let go of the ropes with his foot and the referee was still on 3, and that Dexter Loomis like kind of like let go of the hole, that didn't make sense at all. But either way, it was still a really good match. It was a pretty good match today. He decided to have Cameron Grimes get involved and cave in him for a second time in a week and cost him a match. So, well, not cost him a match, but for a second time in a week, but just cost him this title match at least. So,
The selling was kind of off a little bit for Dexter Loomis. I know he's supposed to be a character that kind of like is psychotic and has no feeling, but he did show some feeling with the ankle lock, but he didn't sell the leg afterwards. But that's a little nitpick thing, though.
that is a nitpick thing because that actually would make sense. Like, why would he try to sell it that
Yeah,
hard?
you would sell it if somebody hurting your leg.
But okay, if for those who's like, if
And he just
in
had
a
an
in
ankle,
a
and he just had an ankle
in
surgery.
a technicality, first of all, it's tape for one thing. Anyway, in a technicality, the man did kip up and then went straight to jumping when he got on his feet. So like,
That's
it's
just
not,
one time.
he kipped up, and as soon as he kipped up, jumped right up to a leg drop. Like, there's not like he kipped up, head off for a long time, then went on and did like whatever, man. That's that's just not a
Selling
nitpick.
is continuous. It's not just 1 second.
It's not the purpose. Either way, Jamie Priest did get the win. Still your North American champion. Although Johnny Gargano got his sights on the North American title, man. And now with that, it will be known that at NXT Halloween Havoc, Candice LeRae's and Johnny Gargano's title match will be I don't know, in some type of stipulation based on from Shotzi Blackheart that it will be a wheel.
Yeah, spin the wheel, make a deal. We haven't had that in WWE since what, Eric Bischoff
Or
was running things on Raw.
or the Las Vegas episodes of SmackDown and stuff, or Raw. When they had Raw Roulette or SmackDown Sin City or whatever.
It's been a while though.
I think about like 3 years ago they had it when they had New Day and New Day versus the Usos.
Yeah.
When that was also a pretty good matchup also. But with that, that is our take on the draft, AEW, and NXT. And don't worry that tomorrow, or at least on the next episode, we will be getting on Impact. And we'll also be getting on NXT UK. We've been writing our nose down so that's why we've been holding up on those episodes. Been writing our nose down for this stuff. I'm ready for Blind for Glory. As I'm ready to see what's the next takeover for NXT UK. As far as I remember, they said Dublin's supposed to happen, but I don't think they're gonna have it. But I'm still looking forward to that. And then we also got SmackDown coming up, so we want to see. I'm looking forward to see how this premiere episode of the new season of SmackDown on Fox can go down. So with that, I'm gonna leave it with the MCMIKE.
Hey, make sure you subscribe. Give us those likes, send us your comments. We need your constructive criticism, and just all love. All right, to you and yours, just hug your family. It's much love. So love, peace, and may God follow you in everything you are doing.